Hey guys, welcome to the channel. If you're new to our channel, don't forget to hit that subscribe button down below and hit that bell. Stay alert when we release new videos. All right, I got the base for our mini split in today. I need to get down here and get that mounted. I figured while I come down here, I'll give you guys a quick update on where we're at with the basement work. Hey, it's pretty messy down here. Here we are. Well, as you can see, we've got the drywall up right now and a couple layers of mud on the wall, which is all the joints that are taped and all the old screw holes and whatnot. Yeah, so we passed inspection with the framing and electrical, and then we insulated the exterior walls, and then we started with the drywall. And we're at a point now where we're pretty close. We just got to finish up sanding, maybe a couple touches here and there with the mud, and then we're ready to start painting. So the ceiling is going to be white, and we're going to paint all the walls a shade of gray. Not 100% sure what shade yet, but that's at least the plan. But this is gonna be the new office, and it's getting real close. Outside of that, we haven't really done a whole lot down here. It's still kind of the same setup from the last video when we finished the walls down there and the door over here in the storage area. But we finished up most of the room here, and we're getting close to more of the finish work. What we need to do for the HVAC system though is, well, let me walk around this other side here. So you can see the mini split is out here. It's just laying on the ground now. So that's what this base is for. The base is going to go underneath it, that's going to get bolted to. What we did do though is we ran the power. So the electric line comes out there. We ran it down through this conduit that goes down. Now there's going to be another support here that holds us against the wall to tidy that up. And then it comes down into the disconnect box, and this is a surge protector that's wired in. And then this wire will then get wired in on this side once it's all mounted. That'll probably be done here in the next couple days, but before I wired all that in, we need to get that base underneath there and get that situated. There's the lines, there's copper lines that'll run the refrigerant from the side over here, and that's going to go up in here where we already have this hole. Now inside the cinder blocks, you'll see when we were drilling this out, all the blocks are full of this bead foam insulation. So I didn't know that, but this whole foundation is filled with the insulation beads. This goes all the way through to the other side, and you'll see that pink right there. That's the insulation on the other side where we drywalled. So it's already pre-drilled, which is a good thing. And since it's already pre-drilled, all we need to do is just go from this side, drill through to the drywall, open that hole up, and then we can feed the lines through. And well, actually we just feed them through this side because we have a 25-foot line, which is the only one that they had. We only need like 10 foot. So we're gonna have a pretty good service loop out here. That's all right, as long as it's working, I'm fine with that. But yeah, I'm gonna knock this out real quick. I need to get this base in, and then there's some tractor work I wanted to get done. I think I might have to pick up some brewer's grain today too. So a couple things I wanna get knocked out, a little loose ends, but let's go ahead and get this base taken care of. All right, so first things first, we're just gonna move this out of the way. Let's kind of set this up over here. Let's get this box opened. All right, that's all it is, guys. It's just this hard plastic. You can see an equipment pad. So nothing special to it, but all we need to do is get this down in this area, and you'll see when I put it down, it rocks in a few spots. So we just need to make sure we just level this ground a little bit more. Get the shovel, we'll kind of shave this down, get it into a spot where it's nice and sturdy, and make sure it's level, and then we can put the unit on here, which let me just dry fit it here just to make sure it's going to work. Always want to dry fit before you get too far into the work. Oh yeah. is gonna be perfect. It's pretty sturdy the way it is. Just a couple spots there. But what that'll do is keep this up off the ground a little bit and not let the water just kind of sit right on the base of this. I was gonna put cinder blocks underneath these corners, but decided to just get this base since I found this for about $40, $45 with delivery. So, and then once we get it positioned, we can go ahead and drill in here and get some screws mounted down to hold the feet in place, and that'll sturdy it up. Now I think it says this needs to be about a minimum of 10 inches from the wall. Of course, we're a bit farther than that, so we'll scoot this a little bit farther, or a little bit closer to the wall. Not much. We'll get it to about maybe a foot away from the wall, and then that'll be the mount spot. And then we can come back through and wire in the wiring, and like I said, the other harness will go through the wall here. Shovel's up at the barn right now, so we'll use this hoe. It'll be fun. Pretty rocky in here. Let me see where we're at. All right. How level are we here? Actually pretty much dead on that way. A little higher in the back, so I'm gonna try to scrape some of that down real quick. There we go. That's pretty much it right there. I guess we want to make sure we're about the same distance from the wall. Just under 8. Yeah, I guess that's it. So if your ground is soft where you're putting this, it's highly recommended that you use a tamp, and you're going to tamp down the ground nice and hard. My ground right here is already pretty hard, and it's rocky. It's all rock right here. It doesn't need tamping. It's already pretty much tamped down. What I'm going to do is just do this. I'm going to, all the loose dirt and rocks that I pulled away from here, I'm just going to start backfilling a little bit, making sure I fill any gaps on the side. All right, that's fairly good. Just try to get a little bit more over here. Just trying to tamp down around the edges to kind of hold it in place. Now, it's not ideal to use my level, but I don't have anything else quick accessible to tamp right now. Okay, here we go. Nice and level, sturdy, and ready to be mounted on. All right, let's set this up here. What is our distance? Here's 10 inches here, so we're clear there. Let's put this right at 11 inches. 11 and a half, actually. There we go. Perfect. All right, so that's all we need to do. Now, I don't have any of the anchor bolts that you would put in there to anchor and then put a nut down on top to tighten the unit out here. But I do have a couple self-tap screws, and we can go ahead and put a couple of those in just to hold it for now. All right, so I went in, I've got these self-tapping screws. These are the ones we used when we were building out the chicken runs. I think they're 3.5 or 3 inch self-tapping screws. I know these are not the right anchor bolts, so for those that are looking at this and saying I'm doing it wrong, I understand. I mean, these are gonna work for us, they're gonna suffice. Just need to mount it to this platform so it don't slide around. Not looking to do anything fancy. Just gonna tighten these down up in there. Again, it's plastic. If these don't secure tightly, we can come back with other bolts where you would bolt it from the bottom and be able to screw it down or put a nut and washer on top here to secure it. But I'm gonna try to use these bolts here real quick and just position it the way it is. There we go. And now it's mounted. We're good to go there. All right, the mini split unit's ready to get the lines ran inside and be hooked up electrical out here. We're all ready. It's all mounted up. That's awesome. But guys, I completely forgot. Pie's ducklings hatched the other day. She hatched 8 of her 10 eggs, so 2 didn't take, but 8 healthy little ducklings. They're so cute. I'm gonna bring you guys down to show you real quick. You guys can see them. They grow so fast. You know, when you get a chick or a duckling, when they're hatched, they're tiny and little fluffy, and over the course of the next week or 2, they start growing out so fast. So wanted to get down here and record before I forget, before they grow too fast. Hey, Pie. Look at the babies. To the water they go. So there's all 8 babies and mama. They love coming over here to the little duck pond and swimming around. They're so much fun to watch. These last couple days, just watching how big they've grown already just in the last couple days. It's crazy, but they love coming out here to this little pond. You'll see they'll start walking back. Pie will be trying to bring them back over to the house, and 1 or 2 will turn around like ADHD and come running back to the water and jump in, and all the rest follow her. And then Pie has to come chasing after them, but they spend most of their day right here in this little pond area, which is heavily secured around the perimeter and on the roof, keeping them safe. Biggest threat for them right now is maybe black snakes, because they're so small. If a black snake were to get in and get a hold of them, they could eat it. But they grow fast enough that within another day or 2, they'll be big enough where that's not really an issue anymore. But they're so cute. It's just fun watching them. They got so much energy and little fluff balls. Plan for those, we are eventually going to sell those. I think we already have half or a little more than half of them claimed already. And then the other ones we'll sell out. We're gonna wait for a few weeks. We wanna make sure that they can regulate their own heat and take care of themselves on their own, start feathering out. So usually about that 8 to 10 week mark, and then they'll go to their new homes. We could sell them now and they could go. Whoever gets them would have to put them in a brooder with a heat lamp to keep them warm. Since they're all playing and doing good with each other and having fun, and it's fun watching them, we figured we'd just keep them here for the first 8 weeks or so and then find their new homes. box under here to keep it up so it's easier to hook back up later. This one wants to be a little tough. There we go. This is what was catching. It was just, needs to be lubed up a little bit. All right, so we're disconnected at the 3 points. Okay. Got all that done. Now I just need to lift this up. That was tedious, but we got it on here. And the reason why I wanted to put the tiller on here is I want to get up and I want to till out my food plots for hunting season. There's a couple areas that I want to plant, and it's due to be planted anytime now. So I've been meaning to get the bush hog off and get this thing on, and now that it's on, we can go out there and start tilling up these food plots and get them planted. All right, so I'm at the first area here, the food plot. I've already got a feeder here we've been putting corn out to keep some feed out in this area. It's just a very small food plot area, but what I want to do is just take the tiller and we're going to take those teeth and we're just gonna drag them just below the surface. I wanna scratch up the surface and maybe a ½ an inch to an inch deep to graze over on top of all this here. And then once all that's done, we'll come back through with the food plot seed that I have. It's a clover mix. I actually got a couple different mixes. We'll figure out which one we wanna use. And we're gonna sprinkle that out nice and dense in here. We're supposed to get some rain tomorrow, which is perfect because I wanted to plan the planting of the seeds or the spray of the seeds before we get rain, because it's gonna need watered and I'm not coming out here to hand water all this. So we're gonna, like I said, till it up, put seed down, and I'll probably get a piece of chain link fence or something that will drag behind the tractor, or maybe just throw behind the side-by-side, and we'll come around here and just drive around, drag it out. That way it kind of layers a little bit of soil over top of the seed to help it germinate and take off. So that's the plan. We've got one here, and then we have one up at the north part of the property, up in the bigger field up there, or the bigger food plot. So I want to get both of them done today if I can. Might not have enough time, might have to pick up tomorrow, but either way, I need to get these done. So let's get going. All right, there we go. Again, we didn't go super deep. We just went about an inch or so and got it all loosened up. So we'll go ahead and grab that seed. We'll spread all this out, and then we'll have to come back and rake it out and spread it around a little bit. And then the rain will be here tomorrow, and hopefully that'll germinate. All right, so one field down tilled, up to the next. All right, I got the big field all tilled up. Took a little bit longer than expected. There's a lot of rocks out here, so I was going a little bit slower than I wanted to. Then there's some areas that weren't tilling down good, so I had to drop the tiller a little bit deeper. So this field got tilled a little deeper than the last field, but that's all right. It's all done. The issue though is the sun has gone down, so it's gonna be getting dark here real soon. So I'll probably have to pick back up in the morning. We'll get up here, start spreading seed and getting it planted. All right, so we'll see you in the morning. All right, guys, next day. It's raining out right now, so I'm in the side-by-side up here at the north field that we left off last night. I've got this food plot mix here. Here's everything that's in it. We've got triticale, oats, winter peas, annual clover, chicory, turnip, and dakin radish. You can see here. It's just called Card 7 Stud, or 7 Card Stud, full season forage. This covers about a 1/4 acre, so this is perfect. This north field up here is a 1/4 acre. So it should be able to use this whole bag. Now, I don't have a spreader, so usually you can have a spreader that you hook up to the back of the side-by-side, a 4-wheeler, tractor, lawnmower, whatever that you pull, and it'll spin and spray out the seed pretty evenly as you go. Our spreader is broken, and I'm not able to use that. I also would recommend, if you had like one of those spreaders you can hook around your neck, kind of in a, this sits on front of you, that you kind of turn while you're walking, and that'll spray everywhere too. I don't have any spreader, so that's fine. I'm just gonna take this by hand. Now, I do have 2 bags, so I've had these for the last, I don't know, 1.5 to 2 years. They've been sitting in the barn, so I want to use them up. So I'm gonna go ahead and get 1 bag spread out here, and then if I run out, I could always tap into the 2nd bag. And then I also have, my brother provided me some seed corn. This has been sitting around. I may end up taking some of this and drilling a little bit into the ground up here to get some corn. I don't know, there's no quick and easy way. I don't have an easy drill to do this. So it's all gonna be by hand, just kind of putting my finger down in the ground. I may end up just taking a stick and walking down, making a couple indents, going putting the corn in there, and then dragging it. I'm not sure. But either way, we've got the food plot mixes here that we need to put out. It is recommended the soil be a little damp or moist, which is perfect because it's been raining today. Right now it's raining pretty consistently, but it's somewhat light, so it's not like a downfall or torrential downfall yet. I do have a, let's get out here and I'll show you what we have to spread this stuff out. I went over, and we used to have a chain link fence around the pool, and I took just a small section of that. I shoved a bar through there. I've got an old ratchet strap that we're going to go ahead and put the bar back here. I'll strap it to the hitch of the side-by-side, and we'll pull that around to, once everything's laid out, to cover it with soil, kind of skim the top coat here. But ground is nice and moist, as you can see. And again, it's raining out right now, which is perfect. It was raining out when we did the bridge, when we planted that, and that grass turned out awesome. So it germinated perfect. I'm hoping the same result up here. So I'm gonna go ahead and we're just gonna grab a bag and we're gonna start spreading it here real quick. Oh, this stuff looks nice. That mixture. See if we can get, pretty neat, huh? So all I'm gonna do with this is just literally spread it by hand, throw it. Now it's gonna take a little time to do this whole field. And again, if I had a spreader, we could easily knock this out probably in about, I don't know, 10, 15 minutes. That's okay. I'll do what I can with what I got. Definitely gonna be tapping into that 2nd bag here. Now it says this covers a 1/4 acre. I'm not sure if I 100% believe that, because we only got half of this field, not even half. So, oh well. All right, so that worked out pretty good. The drag actually did its job. As you saw, I went back and forth on the field, and then I started doing circles and loops. That way I can just make sure it's all spread out as best it can, and cuts down on some of the ruts and whatnot up here. But all the food plot feed is spread up here, and hopefully it'll germinate with the rain today. I'm just gonna grab a stick, poke a couple holes, and try to put some of the seed corn in, and maybe put a little corn plot up here, and then we'll be done with the north field. All right, guys, we got this seed spread. We've got the corn spread. Again, it's not the ideal way to plant. The corn was just some leftover corn my brother had from his farm from last year that he provided me. It was like half a bag. It's been sitting in the barn all year. And actually, it might have even been longer than that. But either way, I don't have a seed drill to be able to drill in the seed into the ground properly. You need to get about, I don't know, 1 to 3 inches in the ground. You got to get it set. Most of it's just kind of spread out, tamped down, and a layer of dirt from the pulling the chain link fence around on top of it. I use way more of the corn than is recommended for this size field, but there's a couple reasons for that. One is because it is not being drilled. I want to put more down for better likelihood that some will germinate and take. Also, since it's not drilled into the ground, crows, birds, squirrels, other animals can come out here and eat on the seed and take some of that. So some of it's naturally going to be eaten, some of it's going to just dry out from sitting on top and not being able to germinate. But fingers crossed that we'll be able to get some of it to germinate, and we'll have some corn up here in this field. We're done here. I need to get over to the other field, get that one done. This food plot is done here at this north field. And I have one more bag, thanks to my brother as well, for this. This is Clover Pro. Let's see if I can get the bag. Food plot seed. This one basically consists of white clover and red clover. So we're gonna use this bag over on the other food plot to put a nice clover spot in. I'm not gonna put any corn over there. I just wanted to do that here in the north field. So we'll get over there. It should be pretty simple. It's only a fraction of the size of this field, so it should take a few minutes. Then we'll be done with our food plots. All right, here we are. Again, this one's so much smaller. It's just this little corner here. We do have corn up here, I guess, because we have the feeder. But I'm gonna take that one bag of clover mix, and we're gonna do this a nice clover patch for the deer. So this stuff's tiny. Look at that. I'll start down in this end and work my way up. Oh, wow. Good bit of deer tracks out here too from last night. They must have been coming and hitting this corn up. Let me see. Oh yeah. Cool. It's good to see some tracks out here. All right, got it done. Like I said, it didn't take very long. It's just kind of really tight in here, so it's hard to turn, but we made it work. I wanted to cover and tamp as many areas as I can and make sure I drag the whole area. I think I got pretty much all of it. I wanted to cut down as many ruts as possible in here too. I mean, there's a little rutty right there. That's not too bad, but I think we'll be good. Got it all taken care of. All right, so now I just need to get the chain link fence off here. I'm just gonna untie it here. Throw it in the back, we'll throw it back into the garage. Keep it for next time we need to drag something, but at least we got the food plots done. All right, guys, I appreciate everyone following to the end of today's video. It feels good to get our food plots put in place. It's been something that's been on my mind for quite a while now. It worked out perfect with the weather because the soil was nice and damp for when we went to spread the seed, and we're supposed to get more rain today and tomorrow. So we get plenty of moisture in here to help germinate this, the seeds here, and hopefully it takes. I wasn't doing it per the instructions or the proper way of doing it, but this is more of an experiment to see what takes and if it does work. Next year we could always change and do a little bit more proper installation of the food plots, but this year I just wanted to get it out, use the seed that's been sitting around in the barn for quite a while, and we did that, so got that taken care of. All right, guys, well, until next time, we'll see you later.